We're going to do slightly different order this morning. We're going to have a great message by Reverend Julianne, followed by a song by Jim Sorensen, followed by the meditation. So take it away, Rev J.
It is interesting to me that I have the opportunity today to share Deepak Chopra's sixth law of success due to Unity of Payson's book study, and then to share Don Miguel Ruiz's second agreement due to our interfaith community book study. Now, seriously, you talk about divine order, the law of detachment, and don't take anything personally. It did catch my attention. And A Course in Miracles teaches that we be open to the form that Holy Spirit chooses to communicate with us. And it may not be what we expected or how we expected it, but Holy Spirit will guide us if we need to respond to a situation, and it is in the best possible way. Now, I really appreciate the fact that I have that opportunity. It's kind of like buying the best guidebook to navigating life. And the thing about it is, it's freely available to us in our mind. So I opened my guidebook, so to speak, and this is what I was called to read. The law of detachment asks me to let go and trust universal intelligence. If I want something in life, I need set the intention and then let go of the desire and the outcome. Now, I know that this is easier said than done for most of us, and it's certainly a skill that we can learn through practice. Detachment is all about awareness in the present now moment, being still within ourselves, knowing our own peace, and detaching from future outcomes, possible outcomes, made up outcomes. Knowing there's a power and a presence that is greater than our material world, mind supports us in letting go of distress and fear. Deepak Chopra wrote, "In order to get anything in the physical world, you have to detach from the outcome and be in the process." The real meaning of detachment is not that you are not involved in the world, but has to do with how you respond and react to the world. So, if you are completely absorbed in the events that happen to you in the world, then you will be at the mercy of everything around. Every little challenge or upset would have the potential to trigger you and create a negative spiral in your life. If, however, you take the time to develop a higher state of awareness, you can become aware of the origin of negative emotion and begin to detach. You detach from your desires while still wanting them. Many people think this means giving up the things that they want, and they associate detachment with sacrifice. But in reality, detachment is freedom and is the gateway towards experiencing everything you want in life. I have probably read that a half a dozen times in the last 2 days. And in that experience of reading it, and reading it, I recognize that living the law of detachment is living from a place of faith and trust and spontaneity and creativity. It is knowing that all things have a way of working out. So take that deep breath in, everybody. Release and let go. Now, the second agreement. It asks me to make a habit of not taking anything personally. I do not need to place my trust in what others do and say. I need only to trust myself to make responsible choices and recognize that I am never responsible for the actions of others. I am only responsible for me. Even when a situation seems so personal, even when others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements that they have made in their own minds. Taking things personally makes us vulnerable and susceptible to negativity. And because we take it personally, we allow it to dictate and manage our lives. But if we do not take it personally, we are immune to the distress and the fear. Now, Don Miguel wrote, "Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally, you set yourself up to suffer for nothing." He continues by saying, when we really see other people as they are, without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lies to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. So, I've read this several times in the last couple of days as well. And I've recognized that by living the second agreement, I must live from that place of faith and trust and love and creativity. It is knowing that you can be authentic, living with an open heart and an open mind, without fear of being judged or rejected. So, take that deep breath, release and let go. There are two powerful messages, mutually supportive of each other. Don't you agree? Now I ask, how can we put our faith and trust in this shared opportunity and take a look at our lives? Take a true look at our lives and ask Holy Spirit for direction. Ask Holy Spirit for the guidance to move forward day to day in agreement of the potential of our practice of these two teachings. Are you willing? My suggestion is that you write these two statements down. Today, I will commit myself to detachment. Today, I will commit myself to detachment. And the other statement is, today I will commit myself to not take anything personally. Today I will commit myself to not taking anything personally. Now, Deepak Chopra has a mantra that I have said many times. It is, I'm totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. This is a very important mantra to me, and it goes back many years ago. I was a volunteer every single Monday morning before I would go to work. That was back when I was selling insurance in Sun City. And I would volunteer at my church on Monday mornings, 7 o'clock, 6:30, whichever time I could get there the quickest. And I would have the opportunity to go in and clean the bathrooms and clean the kitchen, from Sunday. And I would volunteer and I would do that. And the minister one day was there. And I was getting ready to leave and I said, thank you. I said, see you Sunday, and started to walk out the door. And he said, wait a minute. And I turned around and I thought, oops, did I forget a bathroom? Did I not do something right? How your mind can play games with you. And immediately he said to me, when are you going to be about God's business? And I kind of looked at him and I said, well, I'm taking classes here. I never miss a Sunday. I always sit in the back so that if anybody needs anything or I see anything that I can do, I can do it. And well, seriously, I just got through cleaning the toilets. You know, and I was really shocked. And he said, I really think you need to take some time off and you need to ask what God's business truly is for you. To be honest with you, I was sad, I was frightened, I did not understand. What hadn't I done well enough for this man and for that community? And lo and behold, I took a week off. And where did I go? You and Payson will understand this. I went up to the rim. I went up there for that day, that next Sunday. And I sat up there and I cried. I kind of yelled out loud. I had all of this stuff going on in my head, trying to figure out, what more can I do? How do I do it? And then I came back from the rim, and I felt a little more peaceful. I felt a little bit more calm, and I felt a little bit more confused. So I made an appointment to see a minister. Not one at the church that I had attended, obviously. And I went and I asked him, what's this about? And as soon as I said, I told him the story, and I said, what's this about? Does he mean I should be a minister? And it just came out of me like, wow, I hadn't even thought that before I spoke it. The minister said, oh, heavens, no. That is not what he meant. You do not have that kind of a future with you. That is never going to happen for you. Well, I think I have proven in my own way that I'm totally independent of the good or the bad opinion of others. So I really am going to ask you to take a look at that sentence and think about it yourself as you go through your day. I'm totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. Why don't you repeat it after me? Yes, you're muted, so it'll be okay. I'm totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. I'm totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. Now, why is this such a big deal? Because Don Miguel Ruiz says, nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. Let's think about that for a moment. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. Imagine interacting with the same person in two different scenarios. First, the person has an awesome day. They had a great night's sleep. They won the lottery. And everything that could have possibly gone well for them unfolded. They're feeling great. How do you think they're going to treat you? Probably pretty well. Now, that same person, this time, they got into a really bad night of sleep. They actually lost their job. They got in a minor car accident. They didn't eat anything all day. And every other annoying thing that could have happened, happened. Not so much in a good mood. Now, how do you think that person is going to treat you? Probably nowhere near as well as when they were rested, happy, and all that jazz. You see, the important thing to note here is that we were exactly in both situations. We've been there. We know how it feels. But if we look at the other person in those experiences, we truthfully do not know completely how it feels. If we base our opinion of ourselves or how someone else treats us, we're in trouble. Remember, Don Miguel said, nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. I have always said this over and over again. We never know somebody's whole story. Yes, we're connected with everyone spiritually. Yes, we all have had scenarios, good, bad, and ugly. However, we don't know the emotion. We don't know the trauma. We don't know the celebration. We don't know the happiness to the degree in the same way that somebody else does. So, I am totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. Let's say it again. I am totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. I am totally independent of the good or bad opinion of others. You see, when I do that, not only have I given myself the freedom to see things differently, experience things differently, but in fact, I have given others the freedom to be as they are. And again, as Deepak Chopra said, as I step into the field of possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. If we can think positively about the future, when we feel that future holds wonder for us, we focus on what is going right in our lives at the present. Now we look at everything that occurs in our lives, even those things that seem to be negative, as opportunities for spiritual and creative growth. By choosing these two teachings, we support a positive frame of mind today, tomorrow, and in the future. Life will unfold for us in transformative ways that will be truly helpful, not only to ourselves, but yes, to others. You see, I totally do believe, 100% believe, that God's will for me is happiness. Happiness here and now. And that I am the only one that can block it. You are the only one that can block it for yourself. I believe that right now in our world, we are being called to come into the light. We are being called because this is our time. We are never in the wrong place at the wrong time. We always have the opportunity to learn and to teach. This is our time. It is the time to rise and shine. Our holiness shines bright and clear today. That is the lesson number 285 in the Course in Miracles for today. And it says, "Today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. I ask but them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me. And I will ask for only joyous things the instant I accept my holiness. For what would be the use of pain to me? What purpose would my suffering fulfill? And how would grief and loss avail me of insanity? I let that depart from me today, and I accept my holiness instead. It is time. I accept my holiness. You accept your holiness. Together we rise and shine, and we make that commitment to move forward into that field of possibilities. And at the same time, we will experience God's will for us, happiness. Let's rise and shine. We'll play the song for that.